Hey everybody, Mike Naso here from IPR365.com and podweather.com with the latest on the tropics. It is August 15th and things are getting active out there in the tropics. As we take a look across the Atlantic today, we have a tropical storm and a new tropical depression. The tropical storm is Tropical Storm Ana, and that is right there in the central Atlantic, looking pretty skimpy at this time. And our new depression, the much more serious threat, is down here, also in the central and eastern Atlantic. Let's go first to Tropical Storm Ana at this hour. As of 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, it was at 14.3 north, 48.3 west. Winds were 40 miles an hour, gusting to 50, so it's a minimal tropical storm, moving west at 16, very fast, 1,005 millibars, and through time, it is expected to slowly strengthen, and by the time Tuesday comes around, be right on the edge of becoming a hurricane, then go through the Bahamas on Wednesday, and by Thursday morning be approaching southeast Florida. Now, there is a big question as to the exact track. Does it get caught up like so many storms in the past over the Greater Antilles and dissipate, or does it head even further north and strengthen more? It is having a little bit of trouble with the circulation with the dry air, and you can see even better on the visible. Note right there the exposed vortex of Ana, and there's the convection off on the eastern side, so it is not looking good. There's a lot of dry air, not a very strong low-level circulation, so if it even survives, then we'll deal with it. But there is the question, it died out once before, can it do so again? That is the big question. There's the model guidance with it, and you can see most of the models are tightly clustered, saying it's going to continue right up through the northern islands, north of Hispaniola, and then generally towards South Florida in the 5 to 6 day time frame. A lot of time to watch it. Now, we also have a lot of time to watch our next system, and this is TD3. As of 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, it was at 11.5 north, 34.0 west, 35 miles an hour, gusting to 45. It's moving, again, quickly west at 17, 1,006 millibars. And this one is a much more serious threat. It is forecast to become a hurricane by Wednesday morning, and then a strong hurricane by Thursday, skirting just north of the islands on a general track towards the Bahamas and potentially the southeast coast of the U.S. Sometime around the weekend or maybe the early part of the next week, we could be dealing with Hurricane Bill, and a major hurricane at that. Right now, Bill is centered again at 11.5 north, and it really has shown some signs of moving a little bit even further south. Here's the latest satellite loop, and you can clearly see the good rotation in there. Very good curvature, much better looking than Ana at this point, and it has been dipping a little bit southward, so that increases the threat to the islands if it continues to do that. But certainly this is Bill in the making, and it could be quite a storm if that continues to pan out. But we're going to keep an eye on it, because if it does, we could be dealing with it down the road for the United States. Now, the model guidance for TD3 is also tightly clustered. Even though it's currently moving in this direction, the models think it will continue west, then west-northwest, generally just north of the islands, towards the Bahamas, potentially towards the southeast coast, maybe towards South Florida. And this is much more likely to be a much more intense hurricane in this area if it does indeed do what the models have been showing that it will. Wind shear for Ana shouldn't be a huge problem in the next day or so, but then it'll increase. However, as it moves up towards the Bahamas and South Florida, wind shear should be low. So if it survives and doesn't get caught up over land, it could be strengthening close to a hurricane by the time it gets to Florida. But again, that's 5 days away. As far as our other system, and by the way, folks, I'm sorry I'm a little bit stuffed up with a cold. I know it's August 15th, so excuse my voice at this time, but our other system, on the other hand, should have favorable wind shear all along the path, which is why it could become a powerful hurricane. As far as the moisture with it, you can see both are lacking in strong convection, but TD3 is definitely the better looking of the two. Ana's not looking that good right now, but it should improve over the next 24 hours in organization. The water temperatures are going to get warmer and warmer, and if any systems do get in this area near the Bahamas or the Gulf of Mexico, we could be dealing with explosive intensification if an inner core is developed, if the system's a hurricane into a stronger hurricane. And with the system that we expect to be Bill, it's expected to be a 100-mile-an-hour hurricane by the time it's here. So if it does continue to head towards those warmer waters, it could get a lot stronger than that. The Canadian model does show both systems. It shows Anna making it to the Gulf, shows Bill up here, generally moving off towards the west-northwest, what will be Bill. It shows the GFDL shows our system in TD3 coming right through the northern islands as a monster major hurricane, very, very devastating, while it shows the GFDL, Anna, western Cuba. So there's the difference. The GFDL has our system up here too, north of the islands, strengthening, but it shows Anna not very strong at all. So there is a lot of uncertainty. On the other hand, the HWRF model does show our Category 4 Hurricane Bill just north of the islands. So these models are all over the place, generally showing TD3 to be the bigger threat, and Anna not really to be as big a threat as it could be if the environment was a bit more favorable. Again, there's Anna looking rather skimpy. There's TD3, a ominous sight as it continues off, not even that far north actually, pretty far to the west in this direction, expected to eventually bend back towards the west-northwest. Another big wave getting ready to move off the coast of Africa. We're going to have to watch carefully. In the eastern Pacific, don't want to forget about Hurricane Guillermo, 18.9 north, 133.2 west, 125 miles an hour, gusting to 155. It's moving west-northwest at 14. 954 millibars expected to get on out of here and weaken, but taking on almost an annular type shape, so it could stick around for a while, and we'll keep an eye on it for you. So the bottom line, Anna, not looking too good, but expected to slowly strengthen, could be approaching the Bahamas and Florida by the end of the week as close to a hurricane if it doesn't die out or get caught up over Hispaniola. And TD3 forecast to become Tropical Storm Bill probably tomorrow, and then Hurricane Bill, and be a very dangerous hurricane taking a track just north of the islands, north of Puerto Rico, potentially aiming at the southeastern United States. If you are in the Bahamas, the Virgin Islands, Florida, keep an eye on both of these two. I'm Mike Naso from IPR. I'll see you next time.